I know it has been a minute, but I'm back and in full effect, trust me. And we're gonna get into why I've been away for a while. Life has been happening, and we're gonna get into this thing. Today's gonna be a chit chat, get ready with me type of situation. We're just gonna chill and catch up on some things. The look we're going for today is gonna be a brown smoky eye type of situation. This is what we got going on today. So sit back, relax, and let's get snatched and slayed. Before we get into it, of course I need to do a couple things for me. Be sure to like, comment, and most of all, subscribe to my channel so you can be a part of the Snatch and Slay gang. And don't forget to click that little bell right next to the subscribe button so you can be notified of all my future uploads, therefore making it easier for you to come and snatch and slay on the regular. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Like I said, it has been a hot minute since I have filmed a YouTube video. Yes, it has. But I'm back. I'm gonna try to upload at least once a week, twice a week if I'm lucky. With work going on and everything, it's a little hard to do all of that, but I'm gonna try my best to upload at least once a week for y'all, because I missed this. I missed this time of doing my makeup on camera and letting you see what I bring to the table. Today, we're gonna be using a lot of Juvia's Place products. So I got a couple palettes here. We're gonna go in with, of course, our eyebrows. Yes, I am a girl who likes to do her eyebrows before anything else. I just find it to be easier when it comes to the rest of the face. Like, you know, if you're doing like a heavy eyeshadow look, you don't have to worry about all that fallout getting on your base. You know what I'm saying? If you do even have any fallout. First, we're gonna go in and brush out these eyebrows. You know they're gonna need it. These eyebrows actually need some waxing. Hello? Yes, I've been away for a while. It has been, it's been, life has been happening, like I said. Going through some things the past couple of years, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's been over a year since I filmed a YouTube video. I'm gonna try to upload at least once a week because I really do miss this. And I'm gonna be going in with this e.l.f. pomade eyebrow in the shade Espresso. And we're just gonna go in and line these out. And I'm using this small angle brush here. I struggle with, I'm gonna bring it all the way back to December of last year, okay? Before I get ahead of myself. I struggle with a rare lung disease, and it is a very long word. I'm not even gonna try to say it on camera because I'm not gonna make a fool of myself. It's very rare. It's so rare that there's only a handful of people that have it in North Carolina, the state that I live in. I might be the 13th or 14th person who's been diagnosed with this. It's a very rare lung disease. The short term for it is LAM, L-A-M. Look it up. It'll definitely teach you some things you've never heard of or thought of before. I was diagnosed back in 2017. I was 27 years old. The cause of it is from your body, a woman's body, producing too much estrogen, and it creates these small air pockets in your lungs that burst ever so often. Well, they're constantly bursting, and when they burst too close to the edge of your lung, it can cause a pneumothorax, aka a hole in your lung, and it causes your lung to collapse ultimately. Since the year of 2017, I have been dealing with that, collapsed lungs, being in and out of the hospital because of it. That is unfortunately one of the symptoms, or the main symptom really, of having this disease. You know, I've been in and out of the hospital because of that very situation, you know, having constant, I wouldn't say constant, but the past, I guess, since I've been diagnosed, I've probably been in and out of the hospital like maybe 7 or 8 times. That might be more. I've had a total of, since this past hospital stay, I think that was 10 or 11 chest chest tubes are what they use to treat the pneumothoraxes. They put a tube in your chest, and that helps the lung to pump back up and blow up to the size that it's supposed to be. When that happens, you have to stay in the hospital for a couple of days, and normally I'm in there for at least a week or two if nothing extra is going on. Now let me take you back to December last year, 2020. Actually, I'm going to take it in November because that's kind of when it all started. I'm just brushing my eyebrows out with the actual product in my eyebrows. Perfecto! I'm taking it in November. So, back in November of last year, 2020, had a collapsed lung, okay, within the hospital. Okay, got out of the hospital for one collapsed lung, then ended up with another one in the same month. That happened real quick, right, back to back to each other. That normally never happens. They never normally happen that quick, like so close together. I'm like, what the heck? After the second one happened in November, after they treated me for that one, they sent me home. I'm sorry. They treated me for the first one, then they treated me for the second one, and then I ended up having to get surgery to help. The surgery that they did helped my lung to adhere to my chest. So if a air pocket, as I explained to you before, if an air pocket were to burst too close to the edge again, that would ultimately give me another collapsed lung. It couldn't do that because my lung would be adhered to my chest, and it couldn't deflate. So they did that operation on the left side in November once it happened again. Okay, I went home from that operation, went and recovered, stayed with my parents. Then I ended up getting COVID. Then had to go right back to the hospital. I'm going in with this Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite Long Wear Conceal Crease Proof Concealer in the shade, what's this shade? C13. I'm going in to chisel out these brows, honey. I had to go right back to the hospital and be treated for COVID. Now, with me having an underlying lung disease, it gets pretty serious when you have underlying problems on top of having a virus in your body. So they took extra care and watched out for me hella close, if I may say, with my disease and everything going on. Just watch out for me extra close, or very closely, because of my underlying disease. Won't go into real detail about that when I was in the actual hospital for COVID. It was a rough ride. I made it out. It was a rough ride, and but ultimately I made it out. It's kind of what I anticipated, even going back into the hospital for having the virus. With God by my side, I made it all the way through. So I will forever be grateful. COVID happened, and then I was in the hospital for a month after that, recovering. And I will say this about having COVID in the hospital. The worst part about being in the hospital for COVID was the quarantine, was being in an actual bubble. It's not like being in a regular hospital room where nurses are coming in your room every 5 minutes. Every time a nurse does, or a nurse or a doctor comes in your room, they have to be all suited up, they have to be masked up, with, the little cloth things on their feet. It was just, because they had to do that every time they come in your room, they didn't come in as often. So, and of course you couldn't see family couldn't come visit you because you're in quarantine. That was the worst part. Just being so isolated and not being able to see anybody. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. And once they took me out of quarantine, I felt like I could actually breathe again. It was amazing when I got to come out of quarantine in the hospital. Like, I lie to you not. So, I'm just going in with this concealer on the rest of my lid before we blend anything out. We're gonna go in with this angled sponge to blend everything out. So yes, that was the worst part about being in the hospital with COVID, was the actual quarantine itself. It was horrible. Once I got out of the hospital from having COVID, you know, forever after, went back to my parents' house and recovered there. Finally got out like sometime in January. Ended up going back to work. And then I was good all the way up until January, February, March, April, May. Then May came, 2021, obviously. May came, another collapsed lung happens on the right side. Doc wants to go ahead and do the same procedure that he did on the left side on the right. Granted, it was so close to my birthday. My birthday's in June. I was just so bummed out that I had to actually spend my birthday in the hospital. You know, I was in there, you know, getting something that I really needed to get done. It was all worth it, you know, in the end. Had some complications after the surgery. Then they had to ship me to another hospital because I needed to be closer to my specialist that I see for my actual disease. So it was a long process of healing. But then I finally got out in late June, went back to my parents' house, healed, and went back to work earlier this month. Or earlier, well, it was early July I went back to work. So yeah, earlier this month that I went back. So I haven't been back that long. My lungs are still getting back to the baseline. I'm getting there. So with all that being said, I'm just bringing awareness to this very rare lung disease that happens to a handful of women. It kind of originates from your hormones and your lady parts, and you know, that's where it kind of stems from. If you don't know about the disease, please look it up, LAM. It'll teach you a lot, things you've never heard before. That's what I deal with, and I'm so used to it now. I do have to wear oxygen a lot of the times, especially right now since my lungs are still getting back to where they're normally at. It's been a struggle ever since I got diagnosed. It was very scary at first when I got diagnosed, but God. This is me bringing awareness to it. I hope to have some kind of walk, a charity thing for it one day, so stay tuned for that. Ebony's back in full effect. Back doing what I love, back doing what makes me happy. Now we're going to go in with this black Opal powder to set our lids. So yes, that is why I've been away for so long, not filming anything, just because I've been trying to get my health right, trying to get back to norm, or back to the norm for me anyway. But I hope everyone else has been doing well. Hope your summer's been great. I haven't really had much of a summer just yet because of all the health issues that I've been dealing with. But I'm hoping to salvage it before it's over at some point. You know, hopefully I'll go somewhere or do something. All right, now that we've got that taken care of, we're gonna go in with, so I have two palettes here from Juvia's place. I have the Nubian palette, and then I also have the Warrior palette. And like I said, we're going for a brown smoky eye. I'm going out to dinner with my friend tonight, so I was thinking it'd be perfect. And it's like we're going to like a really upscale place, so I wanted to kind of be dressed up and look halfway decent. So I think I might go on with the Warrior first because it has all the colors that I kind of need. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go on with this Mino shade here, the darker shade in the palette, and we're just gonna go in and pack it in the crease first. This look is gonna be hella simple. There's not gonna be anything to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. I go in with this brush by Lavish, and these I got an assortment of these. These are newer. I got these in a boxy charm I think 2 months ago. They're so cute, right? One with this one and go in to pack in this darker shade first. I'm actually taking it a little bit above the crease. You never really know what life is going to throw at you. I had no idea I would be faced with such a scary situation at 27. You know, like the first time it happened, my very first collapsed lung that happened, I was just like, what the heck is going, like, what is going on? What is happening? I was so scared. I'll never forget the first time that it happened, ever. It is like something that's edged in my memory and deeply into my memory, actually. And then it happened again, and I'm just like, what the heck? It's very frustrating to have something happen, you not know exactly what's going on. And the doctors obviously didn't know, but then they started doing the research, and they said, well, you know, we think it's this. You know, we're gonna, you know, send your blood. I think they had to send my blood to Cincinnati to see if I had this thing that they thought that I had. And when you guys look it up, it's a huge word. I'm actually gonna put it here on the screen. It is a huge word. But yeah, they weren't sure that I had it, but of course, after they sent my blood to Cincinnati, that's just how rare it is. You know what I'm saying? It's that rare. And every time I'm in the hospital for it, like, I have nurses and people coming up to me saying, oh my God, I've never heard of this before. I'm like, yeah, I hadn't either until, you know, they told me this is probably what it is. Just going in on the other eye to do the same, packing it on the lid, taking it a little bit above the crease. I just say that to say you just never know what life has for you or what God has in store for you. But I can say me going through all this that I've gone through these past, you know, 3 or 4 years, it's made me into such a strong person. I've never really knew how strong I could be, or I never really knew my strengths until I was diagnosed with this thing. I'm actually gonna go ahead and take the same shade and just take it all the way on the lid. There's really not a lot of fallout with this palette either, which is awesome. You know what, kids? I forgot to go back in with my other concealer for the top portion of my eyebrows. How could y'all let me forget that? And of course, we're going in with our LA Pro Conceal in the shade Chestnut. This will forever be a oldie but goodie in my book. And you can get the LA Pro Conceal in so many places now, online and Ulta. I think I got this one in a beauty supply store, so it is available, honey. You don't have to do this step. It just helps my eyebrows be a little bit more defined. It helps out a lot with that. Going in with the other end of that same angled sponge to blend that out. Alright, jumping back into the eyeshadow look. Going back in with this Warrior palette. And I think I'm going to go in with the shade Cano right here. And we're going to blend out this harsh line that we got right here. Go in with the initial brush that I was going to use to do that. And just taking it in circular motions. And you can do windshield wiper, whatever works best. Just to get rid of that harsh line, get it to be more blended. Just taking it right on that line, that harsh line that you have with the darker shade, and just blending it out. I'm actually going to go back in with the darker shade because we kind of lost some of the pigment once we went in and blended. And I'm just going to take it right in the crease. The same thing that I did before. I'm just adding some of the pigment back in because we kind of lost it when we blended it out, which will happen, so FYI. Back in with that same blending brush, not taking any more product on it, just giving it one more fell swoop. So we're just making sure that we're good and blended. Now we're gonna head to the base of our face, and I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Putty Primer and Matte. And I don't know if y'all remember, but I am a matte girl. I like for things to be matted up. Every now and then I'll go for a glow look, but for the most part, I just keep it matte 100, okay? And we're just gonna go in with this primer to prime out our face before we go in with our base. I'm just gonna blend that out. We're gonna go in with this Too Faced Born This Way matte foundation in the color Cocoa. Really grown to like this stuff. It works wonders. And just gonna dot that all over our face here. Yes, this is full coverage, by the way, so if you've never tried it and you're not really a full coverage type of chick, this probably is not the foundation for you, but it's perfect for me. We're just gonna go on with this face brush, this big face brush, and blend it out. I am a brush blender. I don't really use beauty blenders or beauty sponges to blend out foundation. I just find that the brush works quicker and easier to do so. But to each his own. If you guys notice, but I do have a new and improved background. So excited about that. I have finally have my filming room / beauty room up and running. Still got some final touches that needs to happen, but my background is just a joy to look at. Now we're gonna go with that same concealer that we used earlier, the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite Concealer, and gonna conceal out our under eyes. Now we are gonna go in with a beauty sponge to blend this out. I do like this concealer because it's a little bit more subtle than the other concealers that I use, like the Tarte Shape Tape and the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. Just, it's a little bit more on the subtle side, and sometimes I'd rather that than the actual brightness of it. So, which is what you get with the other concealers that I use. Nothing wrong with a little subtlety here and there, you know? Now we're gonna go on with this I Heart Revolution setting powder, or baking powder rather, and the shade Chocolate Banana, which it actually does smell like chocolates and banana. Yummy. And we're gonna go and just bake under our under eyes here. I'm gonna use the powder puff that I actually came with to do that. I never let that sit for too long just because I don't want my face to look ashy, so just going in and go right back in with this brush and dusting it off. I'm gonna go in with this Rose Water Setting Spray by Maven Beauty, aka Fashion Nova's makeup line that they have. This is from there. I got this in a Boxy Charm like maybe 4 or 5 months ago. It's been a minute. But I love the setting spray. It's become one of my favorites. And we're just gonna go in and set the face real quick to soak up any extra powder that we may have left behind. Nice little spritz. We're gonna go in and cream contour with the Tarte Creaseless Concealer in the shade Espresso. Good God, I could not find it. And we're just gonna go in and conceal out our cheeks here. I finally got some more of this stuff, so I'm making moves. I'm gonna take a little on the forehead as well as the nose. And I'm gonna go on with this big blending brush to blend this out. It's called a powder brush, but I use it for blending. And I'm just going in with this flat brush to blend out the nose as well. Gwen, calm down. You're fine. You calm down. I'm currently dog sitting for my mother, you guys, and she has severe separation anxiety because my mother takes her everywhere with her. And I've told her, you need to start leaving her at home more often or something, because every time you leave her somewhere, she's gotta be extra. Such a diva. Diva of all dogs, trust me. Now that we've got that situation under control, we're gonna go in with my favorite, the Saharan Blush Palette, Volume 1 by Juvia's Place. And we're going to, a little flush, we're gonna go in, I think I'm gonna go in with Neo. It's my favorite shade in here for blush. And we're just gonna go in and add a little flush to the face. Speaking of dogs, let me show you my new baby. This is Ezra, you guys. He is a Yorkie Poodle mix. He's still a puppy. And being that he's still a puppy, he's still very annoying. But his name's Ezra. And he's the cutest, right? Another life update I will give you in another video. We're not gonna talk about it right now. But anyway, getting back to the flush. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with some highlight. We're gonna go in with Lila right here in this shade. I'm just gonna take it on the high points of our cheeks. Yes, honey. Look at the glow. Come down our nose as well. Going in with the fan brush to do that. We're gonna go on with this Hoola Toasted bronzer by Benefit and the shade Toasted. And we're gonna go in and this contour out the face a little more with this. And also helps to set that cream bronzer that we went in with. I'm gonna go back in with some more of this black Opal powder to help chisel out the bottom or the lower half of our jaws. Not much, just a little chisel. Doesn't have to be perfect, just defining out the cheeks a little bit. We're gonna go in and finish out our eyes. I'm back in with that same Warrior palette. We're gonna do the same, pretty much the same thing that we did on our for our eyeshadow. I'm gonna go in with the darker shade first to, probably with this same brush here. That same darker shade, Mino. Now we're gonna go in with a smaller blending brush. I'm gonna take this one by Lavish and going in with that same lighter shade that we used to blend out the darker shade. And we're just gonna do the same thing on the lower lash line to blend this out. Now we're gonna go in with Sorry, I'm so excited. You know how long it took me to get this stuff? Maybelline New York Sky High mascara. I've seen it all over TikTok, seen it all over YouTube, everybody trying it out, testing it. Oh my God, it looks so good. Took me forever to find it. Forever. Finally got lucky and found it in Walmart one night. Thank God. I needed this stuff in my life because it's a very good mascara. We're just going to take it on the lower lash line first. We are going to go in with falsies today, so I'm just coating them with mascara first because I find that it helps your eyelashes adhere to your eye a lot better when you have mascara on beforehand. See how good my lashes already look? Alright, now we're gonna go in and coat. I got these lashes on Amazon, and they are from Alicrown Beauty. I'll link them. I'll put them in the list of my products in the description box so you guys can find them on Amazon. But they're very nice and fluffy. Give the dramatic look that us girls crave every now and then. So I'm gonna go on with some lash glue and coat them, let them get a little tacky. And I do tend to put a little extra lash glue on lashes like that are a little bit more, where the strip is a little thicker, because I just find that it helps to adhere to your eye a lot better. Well, that's getting tacky. I'm gonna go in with this Lippy by Beauty Bakery in the shade S'mores Divorce. It's a nice little nude shade. I've used it before on my channel. I have to get some more of their products by Beauty Bakery because I absolutely love to use their products. I'm just gonna pop these falsies on. All right, as much as I love my matte lips right now, I don't know if I want to do it or not. We're gonna go on with this lip gloss. It's from Cab, maybe. I got it in a BoxyCharm not too long ago. It says Lollipop on the side as well. It's blue raspberry. It's just a little lip gloss. We're gonna pop this on. Going for a glossy lip today, so ain't nothing wrong being a little juicy. Now that we are snatched, let's go ahead and get slayed. Well, that does it for today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping back by for yet another snatch and slay session with your girl. I missed you guys so much. I promise you there's going to be more in store for you this time. Got a lot of big screen looks coming your way because I've been watching a lot of new TV. Get ready for the ride. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you very soon on the next one. Peace.